You know how the old story goes, time flies when you're having fun. The laughs, the smiles, the frog in your throat. When you're telling a story and the memories start flowing in your mind. The next thing you know, you take a step back without putting pen to paper, you've created something. A story has started to take shape. And I realized I was in store for one hell of a day.
Operation Song is a nonprofit organization that's based out in Tennessee. They basically help assist veterans and connect them to musicians, professional musicians, to be able to write their story through song. It was their first venture out here in the West Coast, so we were very lucky to have them approach us to work together.
I got involved with this project, Operation Song, through the Long Beach VA.
I don't even think I had any expectations, to be completely honest with you. It was something, I knew that there was going to be a song involved. So I want to let this hand actually grow.
It does help.
Because I want to finger pick.
It does help.
Earlier on in the morning, the room was, I think, a little bit tense, or at the very least, there were some people that walked into that room not knowing what to expect. Once everybody introduced themselves and kind of let down their guard in a little bit and said, okay, I think this is something that I can work with, I think that really helped me understand that this was going to be a good day.
So the goal is to finish the song today.
They were paired up, one participant, veteran, to a musician, where they then went off into their own rooms to be able to work on their song and story together.
I got to work with their country band called Franklin Lull. It's a husband and wife duo, and we started off literally just kind of getting to know each other, just kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. They asked me about my experiences in the military.
I was told that there was only one female songwriter, and I said, well, I'll take her. And that was Lisa Jackert, and that's who I worked with, and I was very grateful.
I just have a lot of anxiety being around people that I don't know. Stephanie especially was so open and so welcoming and so just genuinely kind and understanding of my nervousness and my trepidation, and she was so willing to be patient while I came out of my shell. It was a privilege. It was.
She was just taking notes as I was talking, and then she broke out her guitar and started kind of making a bass line, because I said I wanted it to be something that you could remember, and that was catchy. Be the #1 hit. That's right.
We got along great. We told stories, we told jokes. He got me to open up.
I think that there are a lot of experiences that we have when we enlist in the military that sound just flabbergasting if you're a civilian that has never walked in those shoes.
And when you leave the military, you leave that sense of community behind, and what you find is a bunch of barriers and obstacles in front of you, and now all of a sudden you don't know how to navigate them.
Like the carrot on your string of lies.
Being able to sit down and write a song with them was actually so different because, like I said before, we were able to just sit and have a conversation, and then from there we were able to see the ideas actually grow, you know what I mean? And it was ideas that I don't even think that I went into the room thinking we're even gonna be relevant. It was different. It was empowering.
She knew what I wanted to convey. I also made sure that I had included portions of my military experience.
I never imagined what it would be like working with a songwriter. But after doing it for one day only, it's a magical process.
And then we broke for lunch and then came back, and then afterwards re-recorded individually in the studio.
At the end of the day, there was a performance where the musicians would perform the song in front of an audience.
So I thank you all for a wonderful afternoon, and thank you for your patience. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Dan and Stephanie are coming in for Dom's song.
When I listened to the finished song, I was floored.
And listen close.
I think that I'd been sitting on those words for months, you know, and to finally be able to hear them outside of my head and in a format that like other people could really relate to. I think it was really eye-opening for me. It was really healing.
I felt wonderful. I think it deserves a spot on the radio. My song was about learning to recognize that when you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it. And if you apply it, it really will help you. And I taught me to have more love for myself first, my family, and of course I love my country. And she joked with me that she's forever now going to be known as the I Love Bacon songwriter.
Boy, I love bacon.
The other 5 veterans, their songs, boy, whew, some powerful stuff there.
Well, I may not be standing, but I'm still on the road. Even though the journey is taking its toll.
And I couldn't help but get emotional that day.
This, we all must move along. And that's why we're here. I wanna thank Operation Song. Blinded by pride, they'd be better off without me. I just felt dead inside until God opened my eyes. Now I'm thankful for my life.
And I thought it was brave of each of the veterans to have the courage to speak out and let their story be told in song and how they liked it. I hope that they enjoyed the experience as much as I did. I know one song almost brought me to tears, and it was very touching.
I wanted to write about my blindness. It made me want to convey a message of don't let it define you. Keep living your life. The title of my song was Life is in the Attitude.
Life is in the attitude, limits have been set. Yeah, you still raise the bar no matter what others have said. Life is in the attitude for you and me. Don't listen to anything differently.
The last thing I want is for another visually impaired or blinded veteran to think that their life is over when it's not.
I had my reservations about actually a full song being completed in a day, but the musicians and the veterans themselves made it happen. I definitely walked out of there with tears in my eyes because I could sense from the performance and from the veterans showing their emotions that it was very true and from the heart.
When I enlisted, I stopped playing. I stopped playing the guitar. I used to play the cello. I stopped singing. I didn't have time, you know. It really opened up something in me, I think, that I thought was dead for a really long time. And I'm hoping that I will have the opportunity to pursue this further, like going forward, you know.
I'm a very artistic, creative person, if I do say so. So this is just another avenue for me to be able to express myself. And I like sharing my song and my story because I think it'll help many, many other veterans.
That's my story. Those are my feelings. Those are my thoughts. I did those things. And someone put it to music. Someone helped shape it, give it body. I was truly blessed to be part of that Operation Song, and I'll never forget it.